Hello everyone, Charlie here. Today we'll dive into our first steps of setting up the farm on the new frontier. We've got fields to work, equipment to manage, and maybe a few challenges to figure out along the way. Our starting capital is £10,000 and we'll have a parcel of land to begin with. This map has a ton to offer, so we're starting fresh and seeing how far we can take it. So let's get to it. Stick around, see if you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to follow the series, and let's see what the new frontier has in store for us. So I guess first things first, we'll look at getting ourselves a tractor to begin with. Now, I was having a look before recording, and I would love to have a Fendt, but they are just way out of our price range. If we look at the Deutzfahr, have a look at leasing that, that's £5,000. That would be half of our starting capital. So I think we'll probably look at getting the John Deere 3650, 116 horsepower. It is a nice little starting tractor. It has quite a meaty sounding engine as well. So I think we'll go for that. Do we want wide tyres? I think because we're going to be pulling trees to begin with, winching trees out of the forest, I think having that would be beneficial. So we have our tractor. Now I guess we look at finding the winch. So scroll on down here to the forestry category, and there we go. We're going to purchase the winch for the video. Oh, I do apologise. We're going to lease the winch. Okay, so we have the John Deere and the winch. What we'll do is we'll start off by connecting them both together, and we'll head over to our parcel of land and have a look around it. There we go. I do love the John Deere colour scheme. So I have modified the shop slightly, as you can probably tell. Just made it a bit smaller because we are starting on parcel number 31. So rather than eating up too much of what could potentially be arable farmland, I have decided to make the shop a little bit smaller, added a couple of extra trees, because I think to begin with this is where the majority of our income is going to come from. So what I'm going to do is just take down our first tree. Now I realise I have just felled this the wrong way, which is less than ideal, but what we can do is we can go about stripping off the branches. And maybe taking down a couple more trees. So let me get this the right way around this time. There you go, it's number 1, 2, and number 3. And again, it's just working through, stripping off the branches. And the same for this tree. But I think today, what we'll look at doing is potentially getting or leasing a cultivator and tearing up a new field area. So we can create a small arable field, potentially look towards doing wheat as a starting crop, and then we could probably expand out into chickens if at all possible. I think that's where I'd like to go. Rather than focusing too heavily on the arable, I'd like to get a bit of animal husbandry involved as well. So it'd look at potentially, moving up to cows and sheep, but we simply do not have the capital to do that to begin with. So I'm just going to grab a winch cable. There we go. We can pull this tree over like so, and I'm actually gonna release that for now and connect this tree in as well. I'm really hoping that we do have the necessary horsepower to pull these, because they are quite big trees. We do have one small branch here, so hopefully I can take that off. Oh, and another. So we've got those cleared off, and I'm just gonna triple check that we have everything cleared. So we'll head over and pick up this tree. It would help if we had them both attached. So again, I'm just going to unlink this one, grab this tree, and we'll winch it. Then I'll need to connect them both together. There we go. Sometimes the winch can be a little bit buggy when you're moving the cable about. It tends to sort of push the trees out of the way. So yeah, as expected, we are going to be struggling here. So I think what I'm going to do is just time-lapse the journey over to the sawmill, and we'll pick it up when we get back to there. Okay, so we've arrived back at the sawmill with our 3 logs, and I think what we'll do is we'll cut them up into 6-metre lengths, because that is the optimal length for selling, and we'll get them sold. And there we have it. All of our logs have been trimmed down to size, so I guess the only next logical step is to get them sold. And it's going to be a bit of a pain because we have to winch them all in, but nothing I don't think we can't handle. So what I'll do is I'm going to park the tractor into the sawmill, then we can attach the winch to multiples of 3 and winch them in. There we go. That's 1, 2, and 3. We shall get them winched in. I'm sort of hoping we don't catch that light, but ooh, yeah, I was sort of hoping that wouldn't happen. So I think for this, what we'll do is we'll reverse up a little bit, pull the winch in, and we can drive them in without causing too many issues, like that. There we go. And I guess it's just a case of rinse and repeat, so. Let's get these ones sold. There we go, it's £12,000 in the bank account. A few more to be sold, so get these connected up. Last 3 sections of log. I don't think these will be worth hardly anything, but every little's going to help, so we'll also get those brought in. So, get that sold. See, that was only £5,000, but that does leave us with £25,000. So what I'm going to do is head back to the farm, and I shall see you there. So we are back at the farm. We've made ourselves £25,000. I think the next step would be to lease the stump grinder and remove some of the stumps that we've just created. And then we're going to lease a cultivator and seeder and get our first arable field put in. So I'm going to drop off our winch and we'll head to the store. And luckily for us, it's just around the corner, so it won't take long at all. So we'll get the stump grinder and we'll lease that. There we go. And given the money that we do have, it might be worth us actually buying the cultivator and the seeder, just so we're not just leasing everything. So the cultivator is 9,500, and I do have a modded seeder installed, which is 3 meter working width. That is a little bit out of our price range. So we've got the cultivator. What we'll do is we will lease the seeder, get some seeds as well. I think 1 bag should get us going to start. And there we go. So I think what we'll do is we'll attach the stump grinder, get that taken back to the farm, we'll attach the cultivator. There we go. And we'll head over to the farm. Almost look like some sort of creature with that stump grinder hanging out the front. Let's drop the cultivator off here for now. Okay, here's our first stump, so we'll work on getting that removed. Okay, we've got the stumps removed, so I guess we need to look at planning out our field and sort of seeing where we want it to extend to. So we have our cultivator attached. I am using the mod which allows me to use the cultivator as a plough to create fields, and we'll begin putting in our first field. I'll try not to keep it too square, as want to make use of as much land as possible. We do have quite a few trees to work around, so it may be that we put the field in and it's a bit of an odd shape. We also have to consider our field boundary limits, so we'll try and stay within those as well. So if you do have a suggestion on how you'd like me to progress the series, or what you'd like me to work towards, please leave it in the comments down below. I shall read through them and yeah, try and work towards what you guys want as well as what I want to achieve from the series. So we have got that field cultivated now. What I'll do is make sure I turn off create fields, and I'm going to drop it off over here. We can go collect our seeder from the soil, and we'll get the field seeded or sown. So I need to double check what we can actually plant in August. I think we should be able to get away with wheat. Well, I'm hoping to anyway. And there it is, our seeder. We'll get this connected up. There we go. And we'll get it filled with seeds. don't have a front weight, so I'm not sure how heavy this is going to be on the back. Well, it seems okay, so it should be fine as is. I'm actually going to use GPS now, I think, for this field. Now we have the field created. And I'll go with one headland and 0 degrees, I think. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll get laned up in the headland. And just as I expected, we can't plant wheat. So we can plant canola in August. Unfortunately, we can't plant wheat, so we could wait until next month, but we don't have a house to sleep with. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get it seeded with canola. And we'll go from there. So what I'll do is I'll work my way around the headland, and then I think I'll put it on a worker, and we can time lapse us going around and seeding the field. And there we have it. Our field is complete. We have a field that has now been sown with canola. I think for next episode, we're going to work towards getting our own sawmill so that we can saw our own logs and sell the planks. I think that would be a good way for us to make some income. And potentially, we could work towards getting some greenhouses as a form of passive income. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And as before, if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below. And I shall see you next time. Bye for now.